Let's I want to see a picture of the dad. Oh wait, let's do this. Carl. 1987 first worked with Root. Crap. Edit. And 1987. The current summary of the article has been added to evidence. Okay. Okay. Oh. Grabs life by the roots. Carl Roottree was voted Watchman of the Year in 1987, and a photo of him appears on the cover. According to the cover, Business watches the magazine, far more corporate leaders, and it has ongoing coverages of who's who in the corporate world. He was chosen not for his work at Rootree's Candy, but rather a clothing company, Root. There's a brief history. Before they married, Carl's wife Brenda was a fashion consultant. When Raina was born, Brenda retired to become a stay-at-home mother. Looking for a creative outlet, she spent any free time she had at the sewing machine. Raina's new clothes were a hit with other parents, including Carl's cousin Jim. Okay, okay, highlight Carl's cousin, notable singer who had daughter around the same age as Raina. In 1982, Brenda's patterns were being copied by other brands, seeing that the man, Carl, and his second cousin, Ernie Jr., who had just become president of Roottree at the time, spearheaded Root. Carl's second cousin was president of Roottree before Carl. In 1982. Oh, I did not want to put that here. Son of a gun. Oh, it's supposed to be on page 2. Alright, need to figure this out. How to do this. Carl, this is you. CEO. Wait. You had to be the fifth. Why is it first? Fifth. How do we verify? Oh, every time you get 3 additional relatives. Okay. Oh man. Don't forget, family trees have surnames from birth, even if the person changed their last name after marriage. Anyone uses the person's most recent, always use the person's most recent occupation. Perfect. Okay. You were the first president. What about Gwyneth? Actually, what about Brenda? Public library. Nope. Oh wait. In a period. I have no idea what to do with that. Let's do what was the great page 2. Let's try Gwyneth. First Anderson. The first Anderson may perform. Few pictures. Before marrying Elias, Gwyneth was Gwyneth Anderson. She had no brothers, so as the oldest sister, she was to inherit the Anderson Maple farm so long as she married. Edit. Inherited. Farm. Before Elias took over, the farm produced only syrup. It was supposedly Elias' idea to create candy instead. Their success was not immediate until they decided to combine the maple with other flavors. This led to 5 pieces, which are still found in the stores to this day. Though the Roottree Candy Company expanded well beyond their original form, it has been preserved as a tourist attraction. According to their website, there are still daily demonstrations and educational tours that show off the many of the turn-of-the-century appliances that Gwyneth would have used as a housewife in the early 1900s. Huh. All right, let's see if we got that picture. Where's the freaking picture? Search. Oh, we already have it, I'm guessing. Let's try 5 pieces. We learned that there are kind of candy sold by the Roottree Candy Company. There are small, colorful, shell-coated maple candies that, since the late 20s, have been pressed into the shape of a maple leaf, although they usually have the one flavor that looks more like a berry. As tastes have changed over the years, so have the 5 flavors, but the shape and combination with maple have remained consistent. There's also a history of printing advertisement that claims to have a 5-piece advertisement scanned from a book called The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 2, by Charles Lee. Sweet History of Candy. Volume 2, Charles Lee. Copy that. Library. What's the point of me copying if I can't paste it? Sweet. Oh, I don't even remember. The Sweet History of Candy. Volume 2. 1985. This is a part of a book series about all things candy in the modern world. It starts in 1925 and continues onward to chronicle the rise of mass production and global distribution. The book ends with a look into the future of candy as envisioned by experts in 1985. With the addition of hindsight, you can clearly see they got pretty much everything wrong. It includes some print advertisements, the final newspaper ad for the 5 pieces from the 1930s. Please be accurate. Roottree 5 pieces. You found this in the Sweet History of Candy, Volume 2. From 1928, 6 years after the debut of 5 pieces. It states that the flavors are inspired by their children, and the order is okay. The order is grape, elderberry, cinnamon extract. So it was really grape, elderberry, cinnamon extract, melon, and the newest flavor, miracle berry. Now, pretty sure you had Elias Jr. There's 2 E. I'm guessing the second would be the elderberry. Berry was probably Elias. So G. Number 1 starts with a G. The second one starts with the E. The third one is CE. The second one is CE. The fourth one is M. And the last one is CECEM and another M for Miracle Berry. Okay. Alright. Yeah, that's the 5. You were what was she? Let's try this again. History. Oh crap. My girl, how are you spelling your name again? What's her real name again? Gwyneth Anderson. Anderson Maples. All right. Paris to Anderson Maple Farm. Wait, let's edit. That originally only sold syrup. Okay, so what's the Actor. I want to put stay-at-home wife. I don't know if that's right. Let's search for Gwyneth Anderson. Oh, she was a housewife. She was a housewife. Okay. That's right. So I feel like Eris should be in there somewhere. I need 3 more before they will lock in. I don't know what I just did. There has to be something more. We know you are not. Crap. What else did we learn? We learned that can we just do children? Junior? Okay. Listed on the website about historical buildings in Butler County. He listed us alongside an old residence that has preserved called Hutchtop House. Hutchtop House. Butler County. Okay. Come on. Search. That's annoying. What about sure. Crap. Okay. Did it say? All right. What was the? Don't forget. Surnames from birth. Okay. So you are Gwyneth Anderson. Perfect. Oh, yay. You also locked the following optional entry. Brenda White? Who was Brenda White? Where did I get a Brenda White from? What's this? Oh, the spouse. Okay. All right. We're doing the name. It is something with a. Actually, wait. Duh. This is why they gave this to us. They gave us a list of names. Gwen. Oh, it's probably the daughter, Gwen Roottree. Let's look her up. You find some information on the websites about old films that are not yet available on VHS. The site is not very well organized and the search is broken, but you can get to individual pages from your search engine. Gwen Roottree is a somewhat well-known actress. Alright, wait. Who was active in the 1950s. She often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicized divorce. Her biggest role was a minor hit movie, Guys Like Us. She left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. There's a widely circulated picture of Gwen from behind the scenes on one of her movies, which you've added to evidence. Did you know? Gwen was the granddaughter of Elias Roottree, the founder of Roottree Candy. She shouldn't have been named Roottree, but her father took her mother's famous name, which was quite rare in those days. Okay. So you were not, okay. Let's put this up. Page 2. Gwen. Highlight. Gwen Roottree. Famous actress of 1950s. Granddaughter of Elias. I'm guessing senior. Father took her mother's last name, which was rare. Divorce. Huh. Okay, save that. Gwen, I want to see a picture. Oh, you are pretty. Author website, including old films, is on the notable Roottrees list. She will be marked on the chart with a star. Of course she is. So it would be... Crap. You were you. Okay. Next on the list is Red Roottree. to find information on a website about strange historical facts. Elias Herring Roottree, aka Red. Wow, that is a name. Was an appointed judge and politician who earned his nickname ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only about 6 days. He served what some people contend is the shortest term in history. A few days after he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position and the Irish people. He then tried to run for state senate. He claimed to be related to the Roottree Candy Company in a newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence and he was defeated in a landslide. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna highlight. I'm gonna put not a true Roottree. Nickname Red. Judge and politician. Youngest. Youngest. Shortest term in history. As ambassador to Ireland. Only lasted 6 days. Save that. What do we even do with his actual? There has to be something we can find this in. All right, let's go to the next one then. Red hair, that's funny. Jim Roottree. Let's do Miracle Jr. But I'm pretty sure it's Miracle Bear. You know what? Let's do. Did I not do Jim? Elias. Did. Oh wait, Watchman of the Year 87. Let's do a periodical. Nothing. Interesting. And let's search. Wait, what? How did I do this? Okay. James Roottree. Let's do this. Real name is James, who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife Diamond LaRoe. The duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder due to the disco song Rolling On Down to the City. It is now in your evidence folder. Although Jim writes the majority of the songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is considered by fans to be the band's lead singer. The band never had another hit but has its fans, who refer to themselves as Diamond Dazzlers. The rest of their music is more folksy and acoustic than the one song they were known for. Jim and Diamond have continued to release music through the 80s and early 90s. One album you find mentioned the cherry tree and the Song of Laughter. Jim has become a bit of a recluse and hasn't made a public appearance since 1996. Okay, so right now it's 98, so 2 years. Cherry tree jam. Oh, that's annoying. Sound of Laughter. An album by Jim and Diamond released in 1989. You can't even find a picture of the cover. It doesn't appear to have been very successful, and reviews seem middling even from fans. Some basic liner notes exist on the Jim Roottree fan page, and it states that the lyrics and guitar are credited to Jim Roottree, and the vocals are credited to Diamond LaRoe. Okay, let's do the other one. Cherry Tree. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, why is, I don't know why that's there. Let's look at this. Where is it? Rolling on down to the city. As seen as in one of the only the great grandson of Elias Roottree can make disco this sweet. Yeah, we kind of knew this though, because he's the cousin. All right. Jim and Diamond. Oh, can we listen? We're rolling on down to the city. A top 20 hit for the few weeks in 1979. According to the liner notes, it satirizes how a part of society was content to remain indifferent to economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East, unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Somewhat ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention to the lyrics enough to trick them into caring. Instead, most of its play came from roller discos. Because it was a product of its time, it didn't get much play anymore. It doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies. Because that's why you never heard of it, but maybe that's why you never heard of it before now. This image is from an auction for a sealed copy. It has a sticker that says, "Only the great-grandson of Elias Roottree can make disco this sweet." It is credited to Peter Janowitz from Music and Lyrics. Okay, we know that. Oh, come on. Let's come on with the lyrics. From search. Son of a gun. Seems to be a music critic. You can find a mention on a fan website about a band unrelated to the Roottrees. He used to work for Modern Music Monthly, that's the name of it, before the magazine went under. Modern Music Monthly. Okay. Please work. Yay. Wrote a great many reviews and articles for Modern Music Monthly. You don't see anything relevant anywhere. If you're looking for specific album names or artists, it was a review and interview from 1979 titled "A Reluctant Hitmaker, Jim Goes into His First Band." Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in C&J plus J&D with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. This is where I copied it from. Cousin to Jim and Carl. Never knew his dad. Clark and I grew up like brothers, but grew up like Jim's brother. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actual sisters. Wait, so are you married to Jane? Married Jane? Question mark. Diamond's sister. I am on the wrong freaking. I am. That's fine. Wait, yeah, I am. It's fine. Save. So the four of us have a sort of cutesy family band thing going on. Not our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her younger sister, everything exploded. No more family band. Okay. I'm guessing it's gonna be plural. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music, but even then we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I've been told rolling is like that, but that wasn't my goal. When he called me up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh. But I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he agreed. For most of the decade, he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. He started raffle tunes. He's a much better jingle writer. As a jingle writer than songwriter. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's also how my father was connected to Roottree. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the wall over the record players, but I was never interested. I just went straight to the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. Okay, so save that. Go back to Jim. Edit. Father married into family. He was a Huh. That's also how my father was connected to Roottree. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the wall over the record player. And his old ad campaigns hung over record player. Crap. I'm gonna have to eventually start erasing some of this stuff. Let's look up Raffertunes. Search. Clark Rafferty LaRose advertisement firm? What? Clark as advertisement firm. Oh wait. And advertising firm. On it, there is an about page, and you can find a picture labeled the inspiration for the famous Super Bowl ad campaign. Below that is more detail. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and his children. And when his wife was trying to get his youngest, Katrina, to come down for the picture, he thought he had the idea for the Roottree Super Bowl ad. Okay, crap. Youngest daughter, Katrina. Now let's look up the Super Bowl ad. From 1994, has a family bickering in the department store, and the father bites into a Roottree maple crisp. Time stops and the jingle plays while he dances down the aisle. As he does, several things in the department store become Roottree candy. For example, a bed that the father collapses onto becomes a giant chocolate bar. The jingle "Need to Rest" went on to be featured in other commercials with other scenarios. This is a famous jingle for Roottree maples originating in the Super Bowl campaign. When you're surrounded by madness and mayhem, rest for the best. There's enough there to share. But let's face it, you need to rest. All right. The Rafferty LaRose. You found this on the Raffertunes website. It was labeled the inspiration for the famous ad campaign. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children, and while his wife was trying to get Katrina, his youngest, to calm down, he had the idea for the ad. Okay. So this is where they would be. You had how many kids again? You only had 2. So it's not you. It could be you. But it could be you. Oh man, it could be anywhere. Oh, crap. There's a lot going on. Lauren, let's look at Miracle Jr. only because I'm pretty sure that's the last one on this. So I want to focus here for now. Let's add a page. Let's go to 3. Miracle Jr. doesn't go by his full name in promotion materials. Instead, he has shortened it to Miracle Jr.